Okay, a pleasant morning to you, students. How are you doing this morning?
Morning, sir. Hanging in there.
Good job, good job. Um, you'll be fine. Just take it easy a day at a time. Um, um, yeah. Um, my words of encouragement for you this morning. When men on earth have done their best, angels in heaven cannot do better. But you have to first do your best. Um, and the other one would be, if you fail to prepare, prepare to fail. You'll get much out of it based on how much you put into it. You will get much out of it based upon how much you put into it. So if you put a lot of energy into your work, you'll get much reward from it. Schoolwork, work, homework, whatever work it is. All right. Um, but if you have this nonchalant attitude, it will not happen. Now, there's a word of encouragement. Um, I know you are a number of you, quite a number of you are adult learners, um, and your challenges are varied and many. I'm just going to ask you to just see how best we can prioritize. And while you're prioritizing, also be mindful that there is your schoolwork to be done. I don't want to say, show me can't bother you because I have rent and mortgage and light and water and food and this and that and Tara knows what. And you still don't know worry about it and end up failing the course because you're going to have additional cost upon you. It's going to take you longer to complete the associates. It's going to take longer for you to come out of that particular situation that you're in. So my encouragement to you is be steadfast. Um, you reach home tired. You prepare a meal for the kids, for your family, yourself, your husband, whoever you live with. If it means that you have to jump into the bed and sleep, but get up, come out of the bed, say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and you try and do some work. And before the business of the new day starts. I'm speaking to you from someone who had to do it. Um, you can't want to be successful and not put in the work. And I think this is what is happening to most of my evening students. You rush home from school, you have, you have to put on the meal, you have to do this, you have to help with homework, and you log on, but you're not there. You're logged into class, but you're not there. So if I ask you what sir did, you don't have a clue. I know what is also true. You're not going through the recordings. You're not reading the recordings, you're not listening to the recordings, and that is posing a problem. So you're not learning. You're not learning. And the truth is, I got better grades when I had pre-COVID because students came to class. I had them captivated. They sat in class, they did work, they learned. Now, some of you are finding other things for you to multitask and not recognizing that while you're doing other things, either at work or home or at play, that you're hearing me, but you're not hearing me. So, whatever you have to do differently, students, I'm going to ask that you do it differently. Um, a number of you have not done one earthly thing on Edico. Now I have to go big up some people. Miss Donna, she has completed her work. Kerry has just one left to do. Kevani has only two left to complete. Some of you have not done a thing from you have gotten access to Edico. But you know what? I don't think you guys took me seriously. There are a few students who messaged me to say, sir, this is my reality. I'm going to ask you not to close out the assessments because XYZ. And I said, okay, fine. And I kept the assessments open because a student or two, well, not a student, several students reached out to me privately to ask me for mercy. And I said, you know what? Let me extend the grace to the other students of the class. And there are students who have still not yet, who have been with me from day one, have not yet done a piece of work on Edico. I'm not saying a thing more to you. But all I'm going to tell you is, I won't even tell you when I'm closing them out. I could close them out while we're in class. I could close them out at the end of the day. I'm not even entertaining any excuses. And you see, when I close it out, that is it. Because your teacher will not reopen the stuff. And this is part of the problem why some of you fail your course. You procrastinate, you don't do the work, and then again say, it's too much work. It is too much work when it is that you don't do the work and make it pile up on you. Procrastination is out of the pit of hell, and some of you are living in a life of procrastination. You don't believe in doing the work little by little. You wait until the work pile up on you, and then you're going to try to stress me out at the end of the semester. Negative. Negative. I don't know what else to do to say to you. And life is funny because I know some of you here have children. And God bless how una talk to them if you pitting them not do the homework. And una rough them up and lick them. That's a life of hypocrisy. Because you yourselves not doing what you are required to do. It's unfortunate and it's unfair. But I want to know which one of una go lick my niece or my nephew and don't do my work. I want to catch them and say, here's the plan. Anytime when your daddy hit you, call me because them not doing my work either. You can't be doing that, students. And then when you fail, you can say the teacher never come to class, come teach, and they work too hard. I'm in the out of school for too long. I'm have work. I'm have family. Do the work little by little now.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir. So I'm supposed to be in next class, but because my lecture they kind of send out the result a bit late. Repeat,
I've not said a thing. I'm listening to you, sir.
repeat, sir.
Go ahead. Continue speaking.
Yes, sir. I am saying FCM3. I suppose it be this class.
Okay, Oshin. I need
Yes,
to
sir.
have a little.
Repeat.
I need to have a conversation with you at the end of the class.
All right, sir.
No problem. Um,
Good morning, sir.
good morning, Katrina.
Sir, I would like to be, could you please add me to EducaSoft, please?
Will do for you.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. So somebody put in a group just know that they're having a problem accessing, well, the recording via YouTube and it's not working. Has anyone tried accessing the recording via YouTube and it doesn't work for them? Or no one has tried to access the recordings?
Sir, morning again. It's just that when I click on it, it's not highlighting, it's not opening.
Are
I try
you
to
are
copy
you
and paste it and I still not getting access to it.
are you using a device that has your ECC email logged into it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because if you're not going to be able to access it because the recordings are constricted to persons using the ecc.edu.jm or the
Yeah, man,
my.
I using my email.
All right. So go ahead and try again for me, please, because it should work. I don't know what is happening to your device, but it should work. If it doesn't work on one device,
It's
I'm going to
just
answer
it's
the
it's
track.
just not highlighting.
What do you mean highlighting?
All right, like when I go up at the top there, you just see it. When I click on it, it's just staying, it's not moving, it's not
It sounds like
opening.
it sounds like a device issue. It's because it's not an issue with the it shouldn't be an issue with YouTube. It really shouldn't be an
Oh,
issue with YouTube. So try it again for me, please. And let me know what is happening. All
yeah,
right.
the
So I
whole of
don't.
last week I was trying to access it. This week
Okay.
going to watch them.
All right. So I'm asking the question again. Did anybody try accessing the recordings on YouTube? Can
I'm
can you
trying
can you
again.
can you try it now for me, please, class, to see if you can access the recordings for me, please? I
Yes,
would need
sir.
to know.
Sure, we can access it because our internet.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, a question. Sir?
Go ahead, Poppy.
Oh, is this same YouTube channel where you post the recordings on?
Yes, sir.
Oh, all right, sir.
Mr. Shan,
Yes, my dear.
is it that your YouTube have to be the ECC email?
So I think I know what the problem is. Can you go to your can you go to your description on your phone for me, please? In your WhatsApp, go to FCM3 and
Yeah,
and
I'm
and
there.
scroll the prompt up and click on the description. In the description, you see my YouTube channel. Can you click on that channel for me, please?
Mr. Chan. S- Sir, I'm there.
All right, click on any of the videos and see if it comes up now.
Any of the videos? Where say I
Hmm.
must go? Your YouTube channel?
No, ma'am. Well, you're gonna go to WhatsApp. Okay, so Kerry, thanks again, Kerry. So Kerry, please post the WhatsApp. No, that's yeah, that's not the YouTube. That's a WhatsApp for the group. All right, for those of you who just joined, thanks, Kerry. Petrina, um, can you join via link, please, for the WhatsApp?
Morning,
Um,
sir.
can you join Petrina for me, please, with the link on the WhatsApp? It's in the group. Please and thanks for those of you who are coming in, who are not yet rather attached to the WhatsApp group. There's a link there. All right, Ornella, what I'm saying to you is, ooh, so are you in the YouTube channel now?
The channel not opening up, none at all.
Strange.
It's
Can
very
the class
strange.
can the class try that for me, please? No,
Sir,
no,
I'm
no.
having the same issue too, sir. Like when I press on the link, it's just jump off and don't open.
Okay. O'Shane, please join by the link for me. Use the link to join the class, the session, please. The WhatsApp group rather. Sorry. I don't know. Can anybody else strive to see if you can get onto the into the channel for me, please? This is the first I'm hearing this complaint. Ensure that the device that you're using, you're logged into your ECC email address. If you're not logged into the ECC email address, you'll not be able to get into the channel because it's a private channel only for the ECC, either ecc.edu.jm or my.ecc.edu.jm. So if you're using a personal YouTube or Gmail account, it will not come up. I might to assume that the class is doing it as we speak.
Can access the YouTube channel, sir.
All right, say it again, Kerry. You can access it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Kerry. Anybody else? I know two people know said they can access it. Anybody else?
A question. I didn't see the link to the WhatsApp group.
All right, Kerry, can you repost the link for me, please, Kerry? Thanks. Um. Mm. All right, so I'm wondering if. All right, Kerry, you're able to say that you said to me that you got on, Kerry. Just check for me, please, Kerry, to make sure that there is no break in the in the link. Um, go to the channel for me, Kerry, and just read out for me what it is that you have. What it is that you have there for me, please, as the address, as the YouTube address, or anybody who can get it quickly. Please and thanks.
Sir, repeat that.
Now I'm just asking if you can are you still in the YouTube channel?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right. Can you read off for me? Read off for me. I mean, I can read, but I don't want to make a mistake. Can you read off for me the address that you're seeing for the channel? Let me just confirm that the address that is in the WhatsApp group is correct. YouTube.
So the one is on YouTube that I'm looking at now.
Yes. The one that
Sir,
is
I see,
in YouTube, the one that you're looking at now in YouTube.
sir, I see Mark Shan 5088. I have 118 subscribers and 283 videos.
All right.
And
What?
Zoom recordings.
All right. Are you seeing a URL?
Yes, sir, I'm saying it.
All right. Go ahead. Read it for me.
youtube.com/@markshan5088/videos.
All right. Do me a favor. Can you copy that channel for me, please? Copy that link for me, please, and update the description, and let us see if we can get it from there, please.
Sir, sir,
Yeah.
so it wasn't working in WhatsApp, right, sir? So I copied the link, I pasted it in Google,
Mm-hmm.
and I made sure that it was my ECC email. and it got through, sir. And what they can do is just subscribe and you'll just see it in YouTube.
Right, because don't bother do what it's supposed. Don't bother do that, Kerry Berry, because thank you, Katrina, for the update. Thanks, Kerry. Don't bother do anything, Kerry Berry, because I know this is what I've been using all along. All right, Ornello. So that's all you need to just copy it. Oh, I think
Yes,
it's
sir. I
my fault.
tried doing that, but guess what happened now? I'm not seeing the description none at all. I don't know what had happened. I'm only seeing Mr. Mark's channel.
Yeah, because Kerry just took it down a while ago. I asked her to take it down. Is that she'll put it back up.
Oh, oh, oh.
Don't worry about it. All right. So
So copy and paste it into Google.
yeah, and you'll get it. But thanks,
All right, let me do that.
thanks, Petrina, because I should have
No
said to
problem,
you.
sir.
Yeah, man, I should have
So,
said to you.
sir, question. What's your YouTube channel again?
Hold on for me, please. You can't disrupt me in the middle of a sentence, please.
Sorry, sir.
Where was I? So Petrina said something that just triggered something off for me. I'm going to encourage you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that once I do a post, it will give you some notification. Now,
What's
it's
the
just
name of the channel?
hold on, please. So once it is that you subscribe to the channel and I do a post to the channel, it comes up automatically for you. What I do when I post my recordings to the channel is use the course code, the name of the course, the semester that it's in. So you will see me from yesterday to this morning adding some videos to the channel, and you'll see, for example, Math 0702, Calculus 2, and I see semester 3, 2023, right? Because I keep adding courses to it every semester, so I have to identify it. So if when you look at it and you see Calculus 2 come up, and you know you're not doing Calculus 2, leave it alone and just look for your Foundation 3. So I have, somebody was saying it's 200 plus videos in the channel. Sounds fabulous. Go through and search by Foundation Concept 3 and you do what it is that you need to do. All right. Oshane, you're asking a question now?
What's the name of the channel now, sir?
All right.
I post the link in the
Oh, you just post a
chat.
link. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Katrina.
Check the group description.
All right, and it's in the group description also. Thanks, Gary Berry. It's also in the group description. But remember to subscribe to it. Ornella, you okay now? Try this link from WhatsApp,
Yes,
Ornella.
sir.
Try that link from WhatsApp more, Ornella, and see if it goes directly
Sir, I
to
click on it and it come up same time.
All
Thank
right.
you.
No problem. You see, that's why I love my students, because me not to do it's me, my responsibility is also teaching at this class, Everything else with administrative business, YouTube and
Yes, sir. Me as the YouTube channel now.
yeah man.
Yes,
So
sir.
thanks, Kerry Berry. You are my right hand. Just remember that. So all right, good. So that is out of the way. That is out of the way. Right. So you'd see me like 2 hours ago adding a Foundation 3. 3 hours ago adding a Calculus 2. 3 hours ago Calculus 2. 8 hours ago Foundation 3. Oh Lord, the teacher don't sleep, All right, anyhow. 283 videos. Remember to subscribe, guys. Remember to subscribe. That's the only way you're going to be getting the notifications as we go along. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I'm not looking for any fame. When you finish the course, you can unsubscribe me. It's neither here nor there. But make sure you do this stuff. And I will also no comment on it. Let me not comment yet, because I recognize that there are no views. So let me not comment on those yet. Well, I'm seeing only 2. Right. Oh, one of them have 10 views. All right.
So one more question. Is EducaSub available, right?
Yes, sir.
So we can talk to you after class, right?
That's what I asked you to do.
Okay. Oh, all right. Because I'm sorry.
All right. So I recognize that today doesn't seem like a good teaching day for quite a number of you, because I've gotten many private messages and a few in the WhatsApp group about difficulties in attending class today. And that's fine. I respect that because at least I'm notified. What I don't like is me coming to class and seeing only 13 students. Well, not even 13 because I am there. So I'm seeing only 12 students. And I know I'm closer to 40 students in the class. All right. So I thank those who, when you listen to the recording later, you're being very good students. All right. Just a few housekeeping. So I have been on, and you all came on to the class and saw me on, and nobody even said good morning, sir. And I said to myself,
No, sir.
what is it?
No, sir. Sir, I said good morning, sir. Sorry, I can't do that, sir.
No man, you joined you not too long come on, you know. I saw when you came on. You not too long come on.
So, sir, someone of us said good morning, sir.
Okay, so let me qualify it.
Oh,
Let me qualify it. So I sat around my computer and I gave you guys breakfast this morning. The breakfast is still being served, soon finish serving. Ackee and saltfish, boiled dumpling, yam banana, fried dumpling, and 2 pegs of oranges. Um, and I watch people come on, and people sit down, and I watch people come on, and I look and I said to myself, so nobody not gonna say good morning, sir? And I checked the chat. I said, my goodness. And then I stopped checking. I said, okay. So my students them down the manners. So I'm at the time when I was watching the link, Katrina, you were not on. All right. But
all
anyhow,
right. So thanks for the clarification.
I am not going to hold it against any of you. So I'm going to say to all of you again, good morning, and I'm hoping that you enjoyed your breakfast. As I look
Good
at it,
morning, sir.
my mouth is watering because trust me, I would have inhaled something like this right about now. But them can't
Sir,
take out
good
the
morning.
good morning. I would have just take out the boiled dumpling and put 3 more other fried dumpling in it and rub that down with a nice cup of hot chocolate. So
But, you
yeah,
know, say not really doing no justice, sir. Cause you know
my
the so and it, so you know the so sir, not eat no breakfast, it's sir, and look how you be able to, sir.
but me not Petrina, me not eating a breakfast neither. That's why I'm talking to you and I'm salivating. I know you're a tourism student,
Yes.
so I know you know what salivation means. My
Mm-mm.
my mouth is watering because my taste bud starts to produce saliva. So I have to be swallowing a whole lot because I'm seeing the food and I'm saying, Jesus, a nice
All
cup of
right,
hot
sir.
chocolate tea would have got on nice with it. And then we just
So,
go
all
back again
right.
and
So,
take a
since
picture.
I have that talk, you said dumpling and I can something, sir. Just call with me. You
All
understand, sir?
right. Bless
All
up.
right.
Bless up. I will do.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So I really hope that you guys let me stop share now. I really hope that you guys would have at least thought about it. But let's just get to a little bit more serious business now. Um, so I'm a holistic teacher and one that not only cares about the work that is being done, but what is very important is my students. Um, so I have been at a STEM conference for a couple of days of this week, and yesterday was a final day, and I went to the open session, and I was walking around, and I saw one of my past students, and I walked him down, and I said, "Hey, who are you? Do you remember me?" And student was saying, "Mr. Shand, how can I question that?" And we were talking. We stood up together, and we started talking, and just reminiscing. And I looked across the room, and I saw where another past student of mine eyes made for. And the student walked across from me, who is incidentally now a teacher. And I called the student by name. And the student said, John O'Star, sir, you're talking. And I thought to myself, I thought to myself, how good and pleasant is it when years later, and this is the one who is a teacher, I taught him some 10 years ago, thereabout. How good and pleasant it is when I see my past students out there making an impact. making a significant impact. And we just stood up, all three of us. And matter of fact, he called over his principal to be a part of the conversation. And all of us stood up there and we were just talking and just enjoying self. And we just laughing. And I said, but you use Educasoft. Why are you not teaching your students not to use Educasoft? And he said, boy, sir, and we were talking. No, why am I saying this to you? A little later on in life, I want to be able to sit back. You don't have to call to me. You don't have to call to me. But I want to be able to sit back and say, that is Petrina Horton. I remember her. And I can look at Petrina doing her job and excelling in life. She may not even be working in Jamaica, but she may be giving some big speech when she done her degree in tourism and hospitality management and have her big something. I can say, yeah, become a student. That's what I want of you. But before I can reach there, it means that you guys have to do what it is that you need to do. And my final talk about this is, as I projected the breakfast this morning, I really want us to be mindful that there are parts of this world that not students, that people have no food at all to eat. None whatsoever. So sometimes in life, when we are complaining, we have chicken in our fridge, we have rice and we have flour, but our mind is affixed to oxtail. And you say, no, I have nothing to eat because of oxtail you want. When it is that, okay, let me not even say chicken. You may have some little chicken back. Or you may have a tin food and you say, I don't want that, a chicken I want. Just be mindful that what it is that you have that you don't want, somebody else will be very grateful. Your neighbor. I'm not even going to go as far as Africa, but your neighbor or even Haiti, who is actually experiencing a famine now. Not even your neighbor sometimes have what it is that you have, but yet still you are complaining. And you see your neighbor out there giving lamb for pea soup and happy, happy, happy. They don't have no food to eat. But you have in your cupboard, they can find something, even if it means that it's a cup of cornmeal that you can boil. You don't have to put sugar in there or milk. You can boil the cornmeal and spice it up and drink it just like. So I just want us to have an appreciation of life. I just want us to be grateful for the things that we have. Um, don't 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 look at what it is that you have or don't have. Just look at what it is that just look at the fact that we need to be grateful. We need to be grateful for what it is that we have or what it is that we don't have. What it is that we have or what it is that we don't have. Because what you don't have now will not define you. Later on in life, if you want to eat oxtail every day, that is your prerogative because you can afford it. But before we get there, we have to be able to do our work and to do our work very well. So I want us to brush ourselves off this morning. We are few in numbers. Brush ourselves off. We're going to start and try again. All right. Those are my few words. Are there any comments before I begin? Any comments, any updates? Okay. So last time I circulated a document that I had promised that I will go through, um, you know, intermittently so that you guys can, I'm not ready for it yet, but just that you guys can see what it is and try and understand it. So as promised, I am going to go, it's a one page. I had 2 pages and I condensed it to 1 page, just one single page. So I'm going to go through it. I may go through it, well, I'll just go through it once. And I'm not yet ready for this. I'll be ready for this maybe in another week or two. But I want to go through it so it is that you can see. So when you're reading through, you can understand. Let me just ask a question though. How many of you, how many of you actually looked at the document? No, sorry, not look at the document. How many of you read through the one pager? Raise your hands on if you read through the one pager. Those of you who were here and received a copy, just raise a hand. Not your physical hand, but the icon. All right. So I'm not seeing any raised hands. So I'm going to assume that nobody looked at it.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Nobody looked at it? Yes, no? Anybody looked at it? All right.
Talking about the one that you the geometry paper.
Yes, miss.
Yes, I did look.
All right. All right. Thank you, Sister McCoy.
Ceremony
All
is
right.
look.
You look too? All right. When it's not just a matter of looking, you read through it.
Yes, sir, but may I wait for you to explain it?
Yes,
No
sir.
problem. No problem. And that was the spirit. That's the aim of it. All right. So let's go with the explanation now. All right. So transformational geometry. So sometimes in life you're asked to do a reflection in the x-axis. Now, my xy there would be my coordinate. You know, xy from foundation one, foundation two. So my xy is my coordinate on a Cartesian plane, the x value and the y value. So if I have a point x comma y and I'm asking to reflect in the x-axis, notice that my new value, my xy is going to be my object, and my x comma y comma negative y is going to be my image. So if my object xy is being reflected in the x-axis, the x value will remain unchanged, but the y value changes. The x value remains unchanged, but the y value changes. So how does the y value change, sir? Just by being a negative value, because there's a reflection of it. So my new point, x comma y, will move to x comma negative y. So for example, if I gave you a point 2 comma 3 and ask you to reflect 2 comma 3 in the x-axis, what do you think 2 comma 3 point is going to become now as an image?
Sir, 2,
Two negative
2
3.
negative 3.
2 comma negative 3. Very good.
Yes.
I want to use the word comma. I want to use a comma there, right? So yes, you're correct. 2 comma negative 3. So the value changes, but all it does, it changes into a negative value. It changes into a negative value. So 2 comma 3 reflected in the x-axis. Any axis that you reflect the point in remains unchanged, because that's a pivot axis. So that is not going to change. So 2 comma 3, when reflected in the x-axis, now becomes 2 comma negative 3. All right, so let us look at the reflection in the y-axis. Sir just said whichever axis you're reflecting in remains unchanged. So you expect the y value to remain unchanged, but the x value changes. Talk truth.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So
Yes, sir.
2 comma 3 reflected in the y-axis becomes what now?
Sir, negative 2, 3.
Negative 2 comma 3, Kibani. Negative 2
Yes.
comma 3. Yeah, man. So that's it. So out of 8, we've gone 2. Out of 8, we've gone 2. So reflection in the x-axis, the x value remains unchanged, the y value changes. Reflection in the y-axis, the y value remains unchanged, but the x value changes. All right, let's remember that. Whichever axis that we're reflecting in remains unchanged, the other value changes. How does the value change? It's just being multiplied by a negative number. So if the value is already negative, it will now become positive. You're just multiplying that by a negative number, right? So if I give you 1 comma 5, 1 comma negative 5 for argument's sake, and I ask you to reflect 1 comma negative 5 in the x-axis, what value that becomes now? What's the image? 1 comma negative 5 reflecting in the x-axis becomes what?
1, comma 5.
1
It
comma positive
can
5. Very good. That's all. There's nothing more to it. And just imagine if you know these 8 laws, you can easily pick up a 20 mark on a question. Just imagine how nice that is. Because you will get a question on the exam on the transformational geometry for a full 20 marks. And if you understand this, I'm not teaching this topic now, I'm only going through the handout to leave you with it so that you can look back at it for the next week coming, God's willing. So if every day you read through this and put it to long-term memory, you're not getting this formula sheet in the exam. So you have to know it out of your head. So if you can use this and remember this stuff, memorize this stuff for next week, and we'll go through it again and do that. By the time I'm ready to teach this topic, it take me only 15 minutes. Only 15 minutes. All right? So let's go. Reflection in the line y equals x. Reflection in the line y equals x. Put it this way. It is as it is. Y is going to be equal to x. When you read it from left to right, when you read it from right to left, what it reads? Left to right says y equal x. When you read it from right to left, what you get?
x equal y.
Good job. So it means then that your x value is going to become How do I do this? I am unable to. I'm unable to. I'm unable to. Hold on. I didn't plan to do this, but seeing that I'm here, let me just go ahead and just do it. Yes. So my x value becomes my y value, and my y value becomes my x value. My x value becomes my y value, and my y value becomes my x value. That's what it is. My x value becomes my y value, and my y value becomes my x value. That is what it means when it say x is equals to y. All right? So my x value is going to be in the y position, and my y value is going to be in the x position. Simple ABC. So what I'm saying to you is, oh, come on, don't be doing this now. Oh, come on. I guess I'm not supposed to be writing. Oh, I am trying to, for me, I'm trying to write and plug the thing into the other computer instead of this one here. So I have two computers up and I plug it into the incorrect computer. Right. So for example, 2 comma 3 is now going to become 2 comma negative 3. Reflection in the y-axis, my 2 comma 3 is now going to become negative 2 comma 3. Are you seeing the screen?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes,
And in
sir.
this year case, if I give you 1 comma negative 5, just using the examples I did before, this now becomes 1 comma 5. All right. So just remember, whichever axis I'm rotating in, reflecting in rather, remains unchanged, and the other value changes. The change that we're talking about is a negative value. All right. So the reflection in the line y equals x, x becomes y. So that means this x is now y, and that y is now x. Look to see if inside here we have y comma x. You see the y comma x here, so?
Yes, sir.
So 4 comma 2, if I have 4 comma 2 reflected in the line y equal x, what it becomes?
2,4.
Is that difficult, class?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
Who said yes a while ago? It's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. Really isn't difficult. So
Sir,
just
you
remember,
just ask if it's difficult?
yeah, and somebody say
Oh,
yes.
sir, I mean say yes. I'm sorry. I meant to say no. I never hear it.
All right, Dexter, because I mean, that was just when your Saturday dinner was about to spoil a while ago.
Sir, you
Was
always want to spoil your food. You're not tired to do it now. You're not tired to
pray,
do it now, sir.
pray for me, pray for me, pray for me. All right,
All right, sir.
good. So that's what it is. It's we're gone through already. We have 8, and look how easy it is. We're gone through already. Let us look at the fourth one now. This says the line y equals negative x. Uh-oh. Y equals negative x. Hold on, sir. I am seeing something. These two are opposites, and these two look like they're opposites. Sir, why is it that? One is x comma negative y, and one is negative x comma y. Ah, sir, me see it. And if this is opposite, you can have y comma x, and then you have negative y comma negative x. Oh, because this is a negative x, sir. So anywhere I see y, I'm going to put negative x. See it here, so? See the y here? And see it becomes negative x. Then, sir, how x become negative y? Thank you for asking. If I divide both of these by negative 1, don't this going to become a positive x now? Talk truth.
Yes, sir.
So x are going to be equal to negative y, don't? See x here? And see the negative y right here, so? So remember, When I reflect in the line y equals negative x, my value is going to become negative y comma negative x. So for example, if I give you negative 4 comma 6, when I reflect that in the line y equals negative x, what it becomes?
Sir, repeat.
I'm giving a point, negative 4 comma 6. When reflected in the line y equals negative x, what it becomes?
Negative 4 comma
Negative 4,
6.
negative. Yeah.
Nope.
Sir, wouldn't it
Negative
be
6, negative 4.
-6, -4,
negative
sir.
6?
Nope.
Sir, wouldn't it be negative 6, positive 4?
Positive who?
Positive 4.
Who said that a while ago?
Sir Dexton.
Yes, ma'am, you are correct. See, tell us Saturday not going to taste nice enough. Remember, it's going to be negative 6 comma positive 4 because we are doing negative y comma negative x. So my y value is going to become a negative value. So that 6 now has to become negative and it's in the x position. And my x value is going to become the x value is going to go into the y position and it's going to be a negative value. But the x is already a negative 6, so it becomes positive. Sorry, the 4 is a negative value, so it becomes positive in the y position. So just look at it. My xy is going to become negative y comma negative x. The y there that is given is a 6, a positive 6. So it's going to become a negative 6. The x given there is a negative 4, but that's going to be multiplied by a negative sign in order to become a positive 4. So it's going to be negative 6 comma 4. All agreed?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
As I said before, I'm just explaining this, leaving it with you, and then you're going to go through it on your own. Come next week again and look at the stuff until I'm ready for the topic. So reflection through the origin. Look at what happens. The reflection through the origin. The answer that most of you gave me a while ago was a reflection through the origin. Please note that xy is just going to, in the same order, it's just going to be negative x comma negative y. That's the only one that keeps the order. With just two negative numbers. This one keeps the order, but one of them is negative. This one keeps the order, but the other one is negative. This one change around, this one change around, this one keeps the order, and both of them are negative. All right. So this is a reflection through the origin is going to be negative x comma negative y. But sir has a little secret here. This is the same as a 180-degree rotation about the origin. So let me jump to that. Look, a rotation of 180 degrees clockwise or anti-clockwise is going to result into the same value. So if I say reflect through the origin, when you reflect that through the origin, what do you get?
Sir, -8, comma positive 1.
Excellent. When you reflect this, when you rotate this through anti-clockwise, what you get? When you rotate it,
Sir,
Negative
negative 8,
1.
positive 1.
Okay. When you rotate 8 comma negative 1 clockwise, what do you get?
Sir,
-8, 1.
That's the point. So the point I'm making is 3 of them have the same something. The rotation 180 degrees clockwise or anti-clockwise, and the reflection through the origin all give you negative x comma negative y.
Sir, excuse me, I can go back up on the first thing when you take the picture, the internet did drop.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's what that is. It done. Now these two, let me put a different color. I want you to put some respect on their title. These two. I want you to put some respect on their title. Those two is students sometimes get them mixed up. The others are pretty easy. The rotation, 90 degrees clockwise and 90 degrees anti-clockwise, you have to remember. And if you put it to long-term memory, you're good to go. You can go into the exam and see. Matter of fact, it's when you've gone on the exam, when you answer the question at first, yeah? When you put up on the 20 marks. Put up on the 20 marks and no say 20 marks put up. Really and truly, me only need 10 more marks to pass the course. And when you get the other 10 marks, you can feel relaxed and say, all right, no, me know me have a C minus already. I go work now for the A. And you just take your time and just go through like a easy Sunday morning. Right? And that's why that's why I do my exams. I go for questions that I know I have most information about. If it's an essay paper I'm writing, I'm going to write the essay on an area that I have most information about. So when I finish my essay, I know the teacher can't give me not less than 17 or 18 out of 20. I'm going to write that on the top of my exam paper. All right, I have 18 already. Because me know me right. So me know what I'm going to get. And then we're going to go for the other question now when I have the second most information about. I'm going to write that essay and say, all right, I never remember that point, we get about 15. So 18 and 15 at a 33. All right, we're on 33 out of 60. Blow, whoa. Me pass the exam already, 50% me pass. And then for my final question, I can be very easy. I can say, okay, fine. This is the least that I have on. So it's going to take a little bit more time for me to think about the question and do the stuff. So if me do the question and get 10 out of 20, 33 and 10 are 43, that's out of 16. 43, that's out of 60. Now, when I look at 43 divided by 60, that's a 72%. Talk to me now. Talk nice to me. I must pass the course. And plus, my coursework with me, I'm going on the exam with. I must pass the course. All right? So that's what I want you to get to. So look at it. XY is going to map onto negative Y, comma X. XY is going to map onto negative Y, comma X. Negative Y, comma X. It's going to map onto negative Y, comma X. And then in 90 degrees clockwise, it's going to map onto Y, comma negative X. Now, let me just show you something to help you to remember what is happening. It resembles the reflection in the line Y equals X. And moreover, when you combine the pair of them, is a reflection in the line equals negative X, Y equals negative X. So just remember the rotation 90 degrees clockwise in an anti-clockwise. Remember, I'm saying to you, it is very similar to the layout of the reflection in the line Y equals X. Y equals X is going to be Y, comma X. Talk truth.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So when I rotate in 90 degrees anti-clockwise, it means that the first one is going to be negative. And clockwise, the second one will be negative. A comes before C. And you first start with the negative, and then the other one, the negative is going to be the second one. All right? So I can easily now remember my anti-clockwise. So if you remember your anti-clockwise is going to resemble your reflection in the line Y equals X. Y equals X maps onto Y, comma X. But the anti-clockwise now, because I'm going to start with a negative, it means that my XY is going to map onto negative Y, comma X. And therefore, the opposite one is going to be Y, comma, all right, so I can't spell what I'm talking. It's going to be Y, comma negative X, right? And that's it. And that's it. When I give you the questions, all you're going to be doing is just seeing these Williper coordinates. I'm going to talk to you about different stuff and ask you to do the thingy bob. And you just say, okay, sir, so reflect in the x-axis, the x value remains unchanged, y value changes. It's going to be x, comma negative y. A rotation of 180 degrees in an anti-clockwise direction, you're going to say xy maps onto negative x, comma negative y. See here? Boom. But if I say clockwise, it's the same thing, negative x, comma y. If I say a rotation 90 degrees in an anti-clockwise direction, you're going to say xy maps onto negative y, comma x. Where is that? See here? Boom. Negative y, comma x. In a clockwise, it's going to be the opposite. How I normally do it, I study smart and not hard. So I go study one. So if I go study the anti-clockwise, I know say the clockwise will be the opposite to that. And then now the line y equals x, x becomes y becomes x. And then the opposite to that, which is a negative x, is the same layout like this, but it's just that you can attach negative signs to the pair of them. Done. Any questions before I move into what I really want to teach today?
No, sir.
All right. All right. Thanks for.
Sir, not a question, sir, but you got a message in the WhatsApp group from Amaya said that she won't be attending class today because the Wi-Fi is gone.
Oh, thank you, my love. Thank you. Let me just respond to her. All right. So that is that. Um, I really hope that you, if you need to see anything, you can go to the recording to look at that stuff. I have cleared it. We are in a good period, good mode. We are doing um, we are doing our
Sir, my internet I get trouble, so maybe in and out of the meeting.
say it again.
My internet I give trouble, so maybe in and out of the meeting, catch it me out and I make my join back.
All right, Osh. Yeah, I don't know what is happening with them because all of last week I had difficulties connecting myself. Um, mm,
Excuse me, sir. Sir, could you clarify something for me, please?
go right ahead.
Sir, so this morning, so because I used to the 8 o'clock class, and so,
Mm-hmm,
sir, I joined
mm-hmm,
8 o'clock, sir. So, and someone come on, someone like say nobody know what they hear answer, sir. So, the
mm-hmm.
time kind of get me mixed up, sir.
Trust me, don't worry about it, my dear. It makes me up to because me never did read no email. Me didn't know so me just done for foundation concept 3 and log on 8 o'clock and me not see nobody. I said, top, I walk on. And that first day, nobody joined as a matter of fact. Not a soul joined that first day. I was there alone. I said, okay, fine. The second week, no. Um, I was there for the most of the morning alone. And then I think some students joined at 10 o'clock because I think the time had said something like 10 o'clock. You know, can correct me if I'm wrong. Um, so I had to fix it. I had to fix it with the system administrator because I know they had given me a business statistics class to teach on a Saturday as well, and they had to adjust the time. So I think they adjusted the business statistics time and didn't readjust the foundation concept 3 times. So I pointed it out to them and it sorted out. So yes. So the rest of you, we were accustomed to the meeting from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Now they changed it from 9 o'clock to 12:30. So it is what it is. Let us just bear that in mind that it's not 8 and it's 9 o'clock, not 9:30 nor 10 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. All right. All right. No problem. So we looked at lots of graphs. We are going to be going through some more graphs. I want to end the graph something today. Let us see how much, or rather how far, I'll be able to get into the graphs. And so graphing a quadratic function. So a function of the form ax squared plus bx plus c is always in the form of a quadratic. It's called a quadratic function, ax squared plus bx plus c, right? And then now when you plot the graph of f of x equals x squared, it is the shape that is formed is going to be a parabola. You can say parabola or parabola. In Jamaica, we call it parabola because we give the first vowel the long sound, like data. In America, them call it data. Them get a short sound. So a parabola is how the Americans pronounce it. We call it parabola out here. But whichever one you want to call it, parabola or parabola, it's spelled the same way, right? It's a bowl shape. And it may be open upwards or it can be open downwards. Now, let me, and that's what a parabola looks like. So this is the upward graph. This will be the positive graph, that shape upwards, and that's a negative graph. How do you recognize a negative graph? Let me see if you remember. What did I tell you?
It's shaped like an N.
Very good. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for remembering. The negative graph shapes like an N. Then, sir, what the positive graph shape like? No, U. But remember, we can study smart. So if we know that the negative graph shapes like an N, that means the positive graph is going to shape like a U. All right? Just be smart on that. Let me see if I can find something. Um,
I mean, I'm
let's see if I can find something. I wanted to show you. Um, I wanted to show you something briefly. Not. I won't. I won't do the whole video of it, but I just want to show you something. It just came to me, so I'm just trying to find a video. Are you hearing me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm just going to show you how mathematics becomes very useful. Um, in all of what it is that we do.
If you're going to carve a bowl, you have to think a lot about the shape. And open designs such as this won't show off carving very well because you would have to be too low for the viewer to really see the carving well. Likewise, it doesn't work particularly well with highly figured wood, although this shape, sort of an S curve pencil line, or what height they are from sitting down at the table to standing directly above it. To actually carve it, we need to do a few things, and I'm now just going to set a pencil line right here. That's sort of where I'm going to start my carving. And then I like to put a pencil line about here that sort of tells me when I'm halfway. Fluted carving that we just showed you intimidates you a bit, and you still would like to try this and just do something simple. And this is a great technique.
All right, so let me just pause it there. So what I want to show you is that this this gentleman is carving a bowl. Can you see that the bowl is a parabola?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah, man, it's a parabola, right? And it is this is how they go about doing the stuff. Um, so good work of carving a bowl using a computer. Let me see. So what they do sometimes is use a computer to set the, sometimes, when you go into a store, you see some wooden bowls and all of them are the same size and same volume, especially the wooden baking ones. You can hold X amount of stuff. This is what they do. They use it on a computer. So they put in the formula in the computer. And what the computer does is to automatically carve the bowl. Without you having to do anything manually. All right. So I think I would have shown the point. So when you go into these American stores, for argument's sake, and you go into the Walmart and the Macy's, and you're seeing all, and you don't even have to go so far. You go to the Fontana, and you see these bowls put out on the countertop, and they're all the same sizes, and you wonder, whoa, how did they do that? No, it's not somebody who sit down and go and do all of them things like that. It's a computer that actually gets this stuff done up. So what they do is actually, if I could find it back, what they do, they actually get the function of the graph. They get the function of the graph, and they plot the function. They not plot. They input the equation of the shape that they want into the computer, and the computer knows exactly how far to go down on it, and it automatically carves out the depth of this bowl. So this is why you can have a bowl that is consistent in depth or volume, because they have a formulation that they put in the system. So this is where the technology has gone. So it's mathematics. It is mathematics. All right, that's the point I'm trying to bring across. It's math. So they're using the math to help them in carving bowls, and the bowl shape is going to be a parabola. All right. Now you may say to me, then sir, we look at some. Okay, so it talks about the vertex, which is the lowest point, and this. So the lowest point is going to be for a positive graph, and the highest point is going to be for a negative graph. All right. So that's what we call the vertex. That's the turning point of the graph. All right. So look at what is happening here. That's the axis of symmetry, the axis of symmetry. So when you cut it right there, the axis of symmetry goes right through the vertex. When you cut it through the vertex, it means that one half of the graph is exactly the same as the other half. And we looked at the axis of symmetry in our calculations last week. All right. Um, See, it's showing you that one half of the graph is exactly the same as the other half. One half is exactly the same as the other half. That's what it is saying, right? And the method of sketching a graph is going back to use the whole formulation of a open bracket x plus h all squared plus k, and we would have done our calculation. So let me just, for the sake of those who are just joining us, let me get this thing plugged in again so that I can do the question for you and then show you what Edicosoft does. Come on with it. So they gave us two. So I'm not, it's not coming up. Bit of buff. All right, so I'm not able to write. I'm not able to write on this screen. All right, so I'll just project what it says. Um, because the coefficient of x squared is greater than 1, remember we did that last week? The coefficient of x squared is greater than 1, we need to factor out that coefficient, the coefficient of x squared. So this is where this 2 comes from. We need to factor out. We did this last week. I'm just recapping. We're factoring it out. Now the coefficient of x squared is 1. So we're going to find half the coefficient of x and then square it. What is the coefficient of x in this question now?
Four.
Actually, what is the coefficient of x? No, this is not good. We did this last week. What is the coefficient of x? No, it's not 2.
-4.
It is -2. You remember you factored out the 2, so it now becomes -2. So the coefficient is now -2. The coefficient is now -2. So I'm finding half the coefficient of x and square it. When I do that, -2 squares is going to be equal to +4. -2 squares is going to be equal to +4. -2 squares is going to be equal to +4. And sorry, finding half the coefficient of x. You see, I'm even talking foolishness and nobody's correcting me. We're finding half the coefficient of x. So finding half of it, a half of -2 is going to be -1. And when we square -1, we're going to get +1.
But that's what I said, sir. I did say 1.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you. Thanks, so you're correct. So we're going to end up with our final answer there to be, they skip a step from what Sir did last week, but it works out to be the same thing. They will have a +1, and that positive one goes here, but it is going to be a -1 at the end because of this negative sign that is right here. Remember, it takes the sign of that color. And because you put in a +1 on the inside, you have to subtract a -1 on the outside, but that -1 is being multiplied by 2. So what you're really subtracting is a -2. And +5 minus 2 is going to give me my +3. So it works out to be the same thing. They just miss a step or two based on what Sir did, but it works out to be the same answer. All right?
Sorry, sir, but can you just go over that part to where the 1 came into place?
You see, I would say to you that I'd want you to do the to access those recordings. I really don't want to spend a lot more time on that because all right, let me see if I can. No, it's all right. Let me see if I can just do that quickly, and hopefully I don't have to spend much time on it. What I did last week is in the recordings. I'm going to ask that to access those because I'm not going to have the time to go back on these things because time is really against me.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. But I will go through for your sake, just for the sake of this class now. Oh Lord, what is it? It is, the function is 2x squared minus 4x. No. Yeah, 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. 2x squared minus 4x plus 5. All right. So when I'm completing the squares, I'm going to be, so write in the form a open bracket x plus h all squared plus k. The coefficient of x squared is greater than 1, so I need to make it 1 by factoring. So I'm going to factor out, but before I do that, let me write my 2x squared minus 4x and put my 5. Can you remind me why I put the 5 all the way out there?
The last term, sir.
My last term, very good. To be able to put my last term there. Now the coefficient of x squared is greater than 1, so I need to make it 1 by factoring. So I'm factoring out whatever the coefficient of x squared is what I'm going to be factoring out. So now I'm going to have x squared. When I factor 2 from -4, I'm going to get a -2x. I'm going to close my parentheses, put my +5 out here. Now I can apply the formula for completing the squares by finding half the coefficient, F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T, of x, and then square. All of what I'm talking about here, we did in previous sessions. They are all embedded in the YouTube channel. Please access those recordings. So I'm finding half the coefficient of x and squared. But remember, I can only do that if and only if the coefficient of x squared is 1. So I would have to first make the coefficient of x squared 1. All right? So now I'm going to find a half of -2, which is equal to -1. And when I square -1, I'm going to get +1. That becomes my last term. That is going to be placed, this is going to be placed in this position here. Right? It's going to be placed in that position there. So now I'm going to rewrite to put it as 2x squared minus 4x lies. It's going to be 2 open bracket x squared minus 2x plus 1. That's my last term. Close the parentheses, plus 5. Now, even though I put in this 1 here, this one is being affected by what number?
The 2.
The 2 on the outside here. So I have to put it in first. Remember, I must put it in first before I take it out. There is no way I can take it out before putting it in. So I have to put it in first before I take it out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out this 1. But that 1 is being affected by the 2 on the outside, this 2. So even though I put in a 1 here, when I distribute this 2 by each term inside here, as well as this last term, I'm going to get a +2. So what I should take out then in total is going to be a -2, which is what I have here. So what I now have is going to be 2. The shortcut method I showed you is that I'm taking the positive square root of x squared, which is x, and the positive square root of 1, which is 1. Whatsoever sign that is here is going to be the sign that is there. Whatever sign that is here is going to be that sign. So this becomes an automatic negative sign. Oops, don't like how that is written. I'm going to get an automatic negative sign, put it like that, square, and 5 minus, what is -1 times 2?
-2.
And what is 5 minus 2?
3.
And then this now becomes, that now becomes my answer, which is 2 open bracket x minus 1 all squared plus 3. And let me just go and show you. Oh, lordy, lordy. That's not what I want to show you. See there? 2 times x minus 1 all squared plus 3. 2 times x minus 1 all squared plus 3.
Okay, I understand, sir. I understand, I got it.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, right here. 2 times x minus 1 all squared plus 3. 2 times x minus 1 all squared plus 3 is the exact thing as I would have had it here. 2 times x minus 1 all squared plus 3. All right, so we need to go back, look at the recordings. It's clearly outlined in the recordings. They're not missing anything really. All right. Now, continuing, are there any other questions? Okay.
No, sir.
So we need to do the basic graph of of x squared. You know, let me show you on paper how we do it, and then I can show you on this. All right, so share this tab instead. So let me show you what is happening here. 2 times x minus 1 all squared plus 3. 2 times x minus squared 2 times x minus 1 all squared plus 3. When I'm doing the sketch of this graph now, remember plus 3 is going to be my y value. So it means that I go 3 units upwards, talk truth.
Yes, sir.
That's 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let x minus 1 be equal to 0. So therefore, x is going to be equal to positive 1. So this is going to be my horizontal value. Talk truth. No, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Right. So, and again, we did this some 2 weeks ago. So the value inside here gives me my horizontal value. See it here? That's my horizontal value. This value out here gives me a vertical value. If it is positive, it goes up. If this value is negative, it goes down. If when you work out your horizontal value and it is positive, it moves to the right. If when you work it out and it's negative, it moves to the left. All of that is unethical. All of that is in my explanation that I gave previously. All right. Now, what I can't show you on this graph is this value 2. This 2 is going to play an impact. So I can sketch the graph to say that my vertex is now going to be 1, 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So my turning point is going to be right here. So I can say to you that my graph is gonna come somewhere like that, right? What is going to happen? The value 2 here tells me whether or not this graph is going to come closer to the y-axis or the graph is going to stretch away from the y-axis. So it's either it's close or it's wide. And this is what the guys do in woodwork technology. If they want a bowl, say they want a bowl, a fruit bowl. A fruit bowl, for argument's sake, is normally wider. So you can put your oranges and your bananas in there and, whatever else you're putting inside there, your grapes and your plums. If you want, Dexon is craven. So if she can drink a soup bowl, the soup bowl may be, a little deeper, right? It may be a little deeper because she craving and she want enough food and enough soup. So should be way too craving if we give her a fruit bowl as opposed to a soup bowl, because it means that should I eat for 3 days instead of just eating for 1 day. So you have different. So these two are parabolas, but the value, the coefficient of A, coefficient, the coefficient of A is a different value from the coefficient of A in this case. One is smaller, one is bigger. We're going to find out which is smaller, which is bigger. We know that this is smaller because we see it smaller. We know that this is bigger because we see it bigger, right? So we all should know how to plot the graph. What I want to show you now is the significance of that too. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me see if I can go back to where I was. Difficult to be using so many different oh Lord, where am I? All right. So if A is less than 0, if so, if A is, are you seeing the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if A is less than 0, if the value of A is less than 0, we're going to start with the basic graph of y equals, is greater than 0. This is not less than, this is greater than 0. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. This is greater than 0. So if A is greater than 0, we're going to start with a basic graph of y equals x squared. All right? If A is less than 0, we're going to start with a basic graph of y equals negative x squared. All right? Y equals negative x squared. So the negative x squared, as I told you, is going to be a negative graph. So this graph is shaped like an N, where the graph up top is shaped like a U. All right? So watch what is happening now. All right. So let me explain the transformations that went through here. This is my basic graph. The first one is my basic graph. My basic graph of x squared. Sir, how do you know that is x squared? See it up here, so? The function says 2x squared. So you know this is going to be a basic graph. When you translate it, you can have x minus 1 all square. But you know when you put your whatsoever is in the parentheses to equals to 0, as I showed you just now, you're going to have x is equal to positive 1. And because it's positive 1, it's moving to the right. So that's why this one here moved to the right. Can you see why it's moved to the right? Talk to me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right. So it moved from where it
Yes,
sits,
sir.
0 to the right. Then what this question did, what we normally do is finish the translation first, but not a problem. We can do it in any order. What they did, because there's a 2 in front, they squinch it up. So it's squinch up. All right. And then after them squint it up, look at what they did. They translated 3 units upwards. Remember that positive 3 in the question that we did says that the graph is moving 3 units upwards. So you know step 1, step 2, and step 4. Step 3 is the step that we're now looking at. And we're going to be doing some examples. So you see, this one, positive 1, comma 3 is my vertex, as I showed you before. See it here, the vertex is 1, comma 3. This 3 is moving 3 units upwards. This is my vertical axis. This here is going to be my horizontal axis. Because it's 1, it is moving 1 unit to the right. Had it been negative 1, it would have moved 1 unit to the left along the x-axis. And because this is positive 3, it is moving 3 units up on the y-axis. If it had been negative 3, it would have been 3 units down on the y-axis. All right? This 2.
Question.
Go ahead.
So if there wasn't a 2 before the brackets, then I wouldn't have stretched it.
Very good.
Okay.
If it was 1, this third step right here, so wouldn't be necessary. Follow me?
Yes, sir.
Good job. All right. So I am interested in having shown you that. I'm interested in are you seeing my graph?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Watch me. Matter of fact, don't watch me yet. I want you to use this 4x squared minus 8x plus 8, and I want you to complete the squares for me, please. Quick and fast. On your mark, get set, go. Complete the squares for me, please. Complete this. The only persons I would excuse from this exercise are those who are joining now, considering the fact that they are going to go through after this class and know and catch up with the rest of you. The rest of you who were here last week, even if last week was the first week, and even more so those who have been here before, go ahead and complete that square for me, please. I give you 3 minutes. Mm-hmm. Tell Katie for come quick here. See if we can mute for me, please.
Sir, the answer is 1,4.
Finish, sir.
All right, sorry. What were you saying now? Do you agree with Nathan's 1,4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? No? Yeah? 4x squared minus 8x plus 8. 4x squared minus 8x plus 8.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
so may I ask if like you gonna move up for that one into.
Mm-hmm.
So you like you to move 4 time or 8 time or something like that
You can go up
to the
8
right,
times.
to the right.
Oh, me no know yet. Hold on. Me no know yet. Watch me. 4x squared minus 8x plus 8. Factoring out the 4, I'm gonna have x squared minus 2x. Now we're going to find half the coefficient of x, which is a half of negative 2, which is equal to negative 1. The negative 1 squared is going to equal to positive 1. So we have 4 x squared minus 2x, put in a plus 1, and plus 8, take out a minus 1. But remember, that 4 is being affected by this 1. So therefore, this piece has to be multiplied by 4. So we have 4. The positive square root of x squared is x. The positive square root of 1 is 1. Come at my square. Whatever sign that is here has to be the same sign that is there. 8. This is plus 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4 is going to be 4. So I get x minus 1 all squared plus 4. And my vertex, vertex, is going to be equals to 1 comma 4. So he's correct. Sir, how did you get the 1 again?
Sir, can you show me your working?
Oh, sorry. I was working, but I thought I was sharing my screen. Forgive me. See here now. I thought I was sharing the screen. Forgive me. Tell me if you agree. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Talk to me. What do I do from here? Can I move?
Hold on, sir. I'm just writing it out.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What say the rest of you? Are you in agreement? Talk to me. I'm hearing you. What are you saying? Are you saying something to me? All right, I guess not. All right, now, so we know that it is, oh Lord, what was it again? 1,4.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So my basic graph is going to be this graph.
Yeah, go over one and go up one.
Very good. We're going to go over 1 and go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Am I done? Can I click done?
No,
Yes.
sir. You have to stretch it.
Thank you
Stretch it.
very much. It's
It
not moving.
isn't stretching.
I know it's not moving for me. All right, so let me click done and then
Now they trying to reset it.
I'm going to reset it here.
Sorry, you put the 4 before you stretch it. That's why.
It shouldn't matter really.
When me do it that way while on the thing, it tell me something wrong.
All right, let us go again. It's still not moving. 1, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. It's not. It's really not stretching for truth. I don't know what is happening to man.
Okay, so
Right, gone up too far. 5 you there.
1, 2, 3. No man, a 4 million man. All right, let me reset it. Select the basic graph. Let me stretch it first and see if that can work. All right, let me go to the solution. The solution will show me what to do. I know what to do, but the solution will do it for me. Step 1, step 2. That's not what I want. I want to stretch it myself. All right, is anybody's system working where they can stretch a graph and I can ask you to share and show for me? Anyhow, all right, okay. So what we do in a case like this, having translated the graph 4 units upwards and 1 unit across, we are then required to stretch the graph.
Yes, sir. So I want you to ask that. So you stretch your thingy. Would you put it exactly over one?
No, it have to be, no, it have to be, I don't know why it's doing that. I should be able to draw it this way. I'm even using my touch screen and it's not working. Should be able to just anybody doing it and it working for them?
Says how far along would you stretch it?
To 4.
So count it. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay.
Nathan, are you able to do it?
Do this? I would have to go on Ericasoft thingy, right?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were already on.
No, sir.
All right. Forgive me. I don't know why mine is not. And if I press done, it's going to say incomplete. Because I need to stretch this thing, and it is.
They were going assignments and quadratic functions. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah. It's not stretching or shrinking for me.
So what's quadratic functions? I don't see that.
It's all right. Let's try with any of the questions.
Yeah, the question.
You want to move in?
I'm looking for the title, sir, but I don't see quite
Okay.
everything.
All right. I know what the problem is. I'm using a writing tablet, and the writing tablet wasn't working out for me. All right. Are you seeing the screen still?
Yes, sir.
All right. So it works for me. It's just that my tablet wasn't behaving itself. See it moving now?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So I'm selecting my basic graph. 1 unit up, to the right, 4 units up, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to slide now to 4. And I'm clicking done. And I'm correct. Right? So it's squint drop. It's
yes,
squint drop, squint drop, squint drop. All right, look at what is going to happen now, which is a point I really want to come across. You see what happens? So when the value of A is less than 1, not less than 1, is a fraction. You see, it becomes wider.
Yes, sir.
Right. And as I go closer to the 1 value, it is hugging the graph, 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 hugging the y-axis value of the graph, and get that. So the bigger so when you want to make a soup bowl, it means that the coefficient of x squared is going to be greater than 1. When you want to make a fruit bowl, the coefficient of x squared has to be a fraction, because when it is a fraction, it gets wider and wider and wider and wider and wider. And this editor software is limiting me in that I can even go 0.0000 something to get it even wider and wider, right? So that's what the guys use in industry when you are doing when you're making a bowl, for argument's sake. It could be a fish bowl, it could be a fruit bowl, it could be a soup bowl, it could be a curved swimming pool, depending on how wide you want the swimming pool. Why am I coming to class with this sort of stuff? You know, there are times you teach and you just teach the stuff without you seeing where this becomes applicable. And the applicability of it is really maths. So maths is connected to everything, including this. All right. Any questions? You have access to this on your editor software. It wasn't working for me because I had my tablet plugged in, so it wasn't working for me. But when I figured what was happening, I quickly switched to it. So that's exactly what it is, and that's how we work it out to get our 1,4.
Quick question, sir.
Go ahead.
The same amount of spaces where we move up, that's so far along we're going to stretch it.
Not necessarily. Not because you see this one that went up by 4, and we stretch it by 4. We could have go by 1 and go and stretch it by 2. It's just coincidence. It's just coincidence that those 2 values work out to be the same. Yeah. Just coincidence that those 2 values work out to be the same. Any questions? Whoa, this poor little toe of mine. Jeez, every walk I lick it up. Any questions? Students, I'm not pleased with how you're moving generally with your EducaSoft. There are students in the class who I know are silent because they would have already gone through this. They understand what it is that sir is doing. They would have already gone through this because they have long past this section on Edico, because they are working ahead of me, so that when these students know, would have seen what is happening, and they don't, and say, oh sir, no one understand it. Can I get another opportunity to redo the assessment? It's an easy yes for me. But some of you now move, some of you, I don't know what to do, honestly. Prayer without works is dead, but I just have to maybe hope for the best. I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do, because I have tried to encourage you all to complete your
Sir,
assignment.
excuse me, sir. You said the recording in the WhatsApp group.
No, man. YouTube channel.
So what's the
You
name of the YouTube channel?
look into the description of in the WhatsApp and you'll see it.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
You go ahead.
Sir, remember me ask if you could have opened the circle thing for me, please.
Did you look?
Yes, sir, but it never did open.
When did you look? It is open, sir. Can you check for me, please?
Yes, sir, doing that now.
Okay. All right, guys. While they're checking, are there any questions?
Yes, sir. I want you to
Sir, the recording them on YouTube. Are the one, are the recent one that we must search, right? Because me I see some FCM 3 months ago and them one.
No. Look. No, you can't say FCM3 for 3 months ago, because I never taught any FCM3. That would be FCM2. So what you need to look for is
FCM2.
right, because that would be, you have to look for MATH0003 FCM3 semester 3 2023.
Sir, what time does class normally start?
At 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So all the questions have been answered in terms of how you get onto the WhatsApp group. Not the WhatsApp group, the YouTube channel.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir?
Go ahead, Jeff, cover me.
Sir, it's there now. Thanks, sir.
No problem. All right, what do I do now? 1107. I've done that. Let me give you another variation to do for me. Share this tab instead. All right, so I'm sharing that tab. If you recognize what it is that I'm doing today is also giving you an opportunity to master you writing the function in the form a open bracket x plus h all squared plus k. So just for you to see what the negative graph looks like, I want you to go ahead and complete the squares for that function for me. Negative x squared minus 10x minus 26. Negative x squared.
You want us to do that now, sir?
right now. Negative x squared minus 10x minus 26.
All right, so I saw this thing where I just guess the answer. -5, comma -1.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that, but when you guess the answer, you'll only get 1 mark. Because when I'm marking the question carries about 5 marks, 6 marks, and each step of the way, you get a mark when I see it on paper. So if you do it by inspection, and it can be done by inspection, but if you want to write the answer by inspection, Nathan, you're only going to get the 1 mark out of 5 or 1 mark out of 6, even though the answer is correct, because I cannot assume that you got the other steps correctly. So I don't see it on paper, I can't mark it. So you have to get into the habit of doing this stuff. Use that shortcut method to confirm your answer when you'd have worked it out. That's what I do when I do the thing. Because yes, I know the shortcut method and it does work. But go ahead and do that for me, please. Negative x squared minus 10x.
Okay, sir.
Negative x squared minus 10x minus 26.
Sir?
Yeah, man.
Sir, we can leave the bathroom there and come back. No one miss this.
Hurry and come, man. Or carry the computer go with you. Anybody else finish?
Sir, can we see your working out after this as well?
Sure. I just wanting to know that people got an opportunity to work it on their own. I don't want to just put my hands up there.
I feel like it's just always going down towards the last part of the working out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it won't confuse me.
All right, hold on.
Question is what I've been called to.
What is it?
Sir,
Okay, good. Nathan?
Okay, sir, so you're not gonna have the let something then because it's not negative. Okay. Okay. I'm see my working out now. All right. X. Is that plus?
Yes, it's a plus 10x because I'm factoring out a negative one, which is why I called you a while ago, but you didn't respond. So I was waiting until you're finished. So you have to be careful. So the answer you gave me originally, the values were correct, the 5 and the 1, but the signs were off because the coefficient of x squared is negative. So you have to take that into consideration.
Okay,
so when I factor, you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when I factor out the negative 1, the x squared in the parentheses and the 10x now become positive. I'm going to find half of 10, I'm going to get 5, and 5 squares is 25. I put it in first. I put it in first before I take it out. It must be positive first before negative. But this positive 25 is being affected by this negative 1.
Yeah.
So when I took out the 25, it has to also be affected by the same negative 1. And when I multiply these two negative numbers, I get a positive number.
Yeah.
So 26 plus negative 26 plus 25 is going to be a negative 1.
Negative 1. All right, sir. Well, I'm going to change some signs. So this will be a positive. So going down towards the third line, then, first, second line, it becomes positive.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then what's up with the times the 5? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a positive.
But I don't understand. Oh, my screen does.
So this number becomes 5.
Are you still seeing my screen?
Sorry.
Are you still seeing my screen, class?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my computer just jumped a while ago. Okay.
What on the sir? I'm right back over everything quickly.
No problem.
I didn't think that you would have changed the sign again.
Yeah, man, you have to.
So, sir, because you have the -1, the positive, the positive 5 will becomes a -5.
No, the
Because you
reason
have the
I'm going to let x plus 5 equals 0. So therefore, x is going to be equal to -5. So this -5 is this -5. So I'm setting whatever is in the parentheses to find my x value. So this is x plus 5. That's the x plus 5. It must be equal to 0 because I want to see where it is going. So because it's -5, it's going to move to the left of the x-axis. Follow me?
Yes, sir.
Almost to 25. Oh gosh. Let's take away that now.
X squared minus 4x minus 8, x squared minus 4x minus 8, x squared minus 4x minus 8, x squared minus 4x minus 8. All right, I'm going to beg about 5 minutes, well, less than 10 minutes. What I want you to do is to look at that for me, and I gave you a do now to do in the meantime for me, please. -x squared minus 4x minus 8. Just let me just attend to a matter, please. Thanks, here.
Yes, sir. And again.
Repeat.
When you get for the answer.
-2 for you.
-2 4.
Yeah, you.
Same. -2 -4.
And a -2, -4 when I get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is -2 and 4, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
All right, so I was passing the system. I heard somebody say, "We understand again for this something," and I started to laugh. And then I heard her say, "Oh, next time don't frighten Goody so here because Goody are gonna say, oh, when they get that." Who was that a while ago?
That was me, sir.
What am I frightened you so?
I must say, come and think we get different answers from them.
So I started to laugh. All right, so is everybody comfortable? Did everybody get the same answer for the last question?
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody in the class that got something different? Because if one person has it different, I will do it. But if everybody got the same answer, I'm not doing it. So as not to rob you of the opportunity, did you get it? Going once, going twice.
Which is what, sir? -2, -4?
That's what you thought, Racine?
Yes, sir.
Good job. -2, -4. Excellent. Excellent. I'm proud of you guys. All right, do me a favor. I want you to sketch a graph for me now, please. Attempt to sketch a graph for me, please. Attempt to sketch up a graph for me, please.
They'll just be an angle.
Say it again.
So what you gonna know if we graph right?
Because I'm going to project it on the screen now. So you're going to look at it and estimate whether or not you're right. I won't be able to see the stretch.
Well, I'm finished, sir.
All right, good. I won't be able to see the stretch, but I'll be able to see the general shape of the graph. All right, so I'm checking now. Hold on. Which of the graphs you plotted, by the way? The last one, the negative x squared minus 4x?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Are you seeing the graph? Are you seeing the screen rather?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. What was it? It was what, -2 what again?
Negative 2,
Negative
negative
4.
Negative 2, negative 4. What shape of this? What shape is this graph?
N.
Very good.
Inverted
N.
N.
Very good. And it's negative. The vertex is negative 2, negative 4.
Yes, sir.
So that means I go negative 2, negative 4.
No, sir.
1, 2.
No, sir.
That's positive 2, sir.
Thank you very much for paying attention. Negative 2, negative 4. I did that to see how many of you were paying attention. All right, I'm finished now, right?
No, sir.
What do I need to do?
You're supposed to do the stretch. One look at something. You don't have no stretch.
Is there a stretch?
With the -1, but it's not.
Did we take care of the -1 already?
Okay. No.
Say yes. Yeah, man.
No.
The negative sign, the N is suggesting the negative sign. And because it's not a -2 or a -3, all right. So I can click done.
Yes, sir.
And we are correct. Very nice. Now, let me, sorry, is there a question? All right, let me give a word of encouragement.
Sir.
Go ahead, please.
Sir, like when I go down, sir, that would be the negative 4.
Yeah. When I go down on the y-axis is a negative 4, yeah.
Okay.
Let me give a word of encouragement. There are some of you in here that are on the ball.
Football.
You catch football, volleyball, netball, golf ball, baseball, you name it, softball, you are on it. You understand. You're understanding what it is that I'm doing. You've understood the things that I have done. I congratulate you. There are some of you, on the other hand, who are in class and you wonder how them people that can't talk so much because them just talk out the answer and you don't get it. And the problem is you're not putting in enough work to be where they are. You all have an opportunity to be at that point. And I'm proud of you. Those of you are following me, really very proud of you. Those of you who are yet to get to the stage where I want you to get to, you have to put in some more work. You cannot not put in the work and expect to be where the others are. That don't make it. You have to put in the work in order to get to where they are. Real talk. And yes, my conversation excludes those who are joining us for the first time because you will not have privy to the material before. But remember, my YouTube channel has all the lectures that previously went. My YouTube channel also has Foundation Concept 3 courses from many more semesters that went ahead. So what you can, yes, man, it contains all my lectures. I don't separate them at all. So what you can do is, if you want to move ahead of me, if you want to see what was happening, you can look. The last time I taught Foundation Concept 3 was summer 2022. I only teach it in the summer, right? So summer 2022, if you look in the YouTube channel, you see summer 2022. If you look in the YouTube channel, you see summer 2021. And you look in the YouTube channel, you see summer 2020. All right? So if you want, you can scroll through the channel. There are 286 videos. Scroll through the channel, look at the stuff, and just try and learn. You can pause it, fast forward it, stop it, whatever the situation is, crop it, whatever the situation is. Use the videos to maximize to get your stuff done up. I promise you, if you do it, guys, good to go. All right. So I think I have spent enough time on this. I really think you guys are understanding now what is all of this about. Remember, at the top of the class, I would have done some transformational geometry with you just to get you to a point where I really want to get you. So you need to review the video, the recording, just to make sure that whenever I get to transformational geometry and looking at my reflections and rotations, for my transformations, you are all there. Those principles will not be given to you in an exam. You have to know them from memory. But if we start already, matter of fact, let me tell you a secret. That transformational geometry, that topic is now done. Based on what I did in class today, this morning, at the top of the class, transformational geometry is now complete. The most that I'm going to do is just revise. So those of you who didn't join the class at that time, yours is a responsibility now to look at the recording and try and understand what sir did. That's all that there is to it. 20 marks in an exam. 20 marks. I will do some past paper questions with you for you to see how the questions are pitched. But that's it. I promise you, there's nothing more to it than this. So just make sure you go and do your work. If you don't do the work, you can't pass the course. Don't expect to pass the course when you're not putting out any effort. That don't make it. All right. With that said,
towards the work.
what Edikosoft is saying is that I need to, my next set of graphs would be my distant time graph, but I'm not going to touch a distant time graph. Hold on, let me see something. No, I want to get a distant time graph at the top of a class. I want to get it when you're fresh. No, I don't want to do the distant time graph. What I can do in the next couple of minutes towards the end of the session is, okay, I think that's a better thing. I think that's a better thing for me to do. All right. Towards the end of the session, starting like almost now, I'm gonna project a one question, as I did promise you that, on the transformational geometry, just to see how the question is worked. You may for now draw for that one page that I gave you, so we can have it to look at. So I'm gonna beg you to about. I already prepared a question for you. So I'm going to beg you about 5 minutes for me to go on the other computer so that I can download it to project it on this system, so we can just have a working session on that. Oh Lord, these birds are loud. All right, just look over what it is that we've done, please, and give me an opportunity to just source that document so we can together work through it. All right, give me half a second.
Sir, good afternoon. Good morning. Sir, let just come back. What's supposed to do? Sir,
Sir Samsung come.
Yeah, man. Give me 2 seconds. I'll come in. I'll come into you, Nathan. I'll come in. Young man, relax yourself now. Let our class over. Relax yourself. Teacher saying, come in.
Sorry,
All right. I'm just trying to relocate my stuff. All right. I'm going to be projecting the document to you in a few minutes. transferred it just now. Allow me to just sort. Go for the data for me, please. Let me see if I can project. All right, do me a favor. Make sure that you bring up your sheet that I sent off to you. Let me just convert this file. Let me just. I just sent me the document via WhatsApp. Let's convert this to a PDF document. All right, so take out your document. Take out your document. I am about to share with you Thank you. I'm about to share with you just waiting for it to come up. This is taking longer than usual because I didn't plan to do this part today, but I cover where the point at which I'm at now is to do the distant time graph, and I don't want to start a distant time graph. So instead of sending you off in half an hour, I could use maybe 20 minutes out of half an hour to do a one question. So that's why I didn't have the document up and ready. So bear on with me, please. Usually more prepared than this. Wait. Is this it? All right. So I am sharing with you now past paper 2017. Okay. No, it's not. (2017). Oh Lord. Okay. So share screen. Tell me if you've seen it, please. Are you seeing it?
Yes, sir.
Sir, may I say dark skin? Oh, me just see it.
All right, so do me a favor. I want all of you to work part A for me, please. all of you to work part A. It says triangle ABC with vertices 3,5, B 1,1, and C 4,-2 is reflected in the y-axis. Is reflected in the y-axis. I want you to calculate the position of the images of A, B, and C. I'll show you the notation afterwards. Just go ahead now. This rotation is done in the y-axis. Look back to see what happens in the y-axis, and do that transformation for me.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I think I've done saying on my head.
No, man. Why you write it up on paper? Keep it in your head. Put it on paper. We'll call upon different ones of you in the class, and you will tell me if those that I call upon is right or wrong.
Which one, sir? So almost to C?
I thought you said A, B, and C. I think. Pretty sure.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, guys. Are you hearing me?
Hearing you now, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I got disconnected. Forgive me. Got disconnected. Let me see if I can go back to where I was. All right, so am I sharing again now?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Racine, I'm gonna start with you. So the question says triangle ABC with vertices 3,5, 1,1, and 4,-2 ABC respectively is reflected in the y-axis. I want you, Racine, to give me the coordinates, and I want the rest of you to listen. Just Racine alone is supposed to talk. The rest of you listen, and you are going to tell her whether or not she's correct or incorrect. Racine, what is going to be your new point for A, for B, and C? What's your new point for A, Racine?
Hold on, sir. Come on. You never start working till I'm the right.
You You don't need to write. I'm going to send you the document. You don't need to write. I'm going to send it to you. But I just want you to make sure that you get what it is that is on. So nobody is right. Just write the point and work it. I can send the question to you. Don't write the question itself.
Okay, so for A,
Mm-hmm.
A now becomes -3, comma y 5.
Comma who?
5.
Mm-hmm.
And B becomes -1, comma 1. C becomes
C.
C becomes -4. What's that? -4, +2. I think.
Is she correct? Is she correct? The rest of you, is she correct?
-4.
-2.
Don't do it. Don't
Sir,
know.
can try now?
Partial, sir.
Okay, yes, Rick.
Congrats me.
No, hold on. Coming to you, Kebani, if that is you. So Racine, you're correct with A, you're correct with B, but C is supposed to be no, not fully.
So you're breaking up.
67% congrats, because C is supposed to be -4,
-2.
Yeah. -4, -2. So let me show you the answer.
breaking up.
Let me show you the answer. Look at the answer there. So I want to show you the notation as we go along. So the reflection in the y-axis is going to be where x, y. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me now, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm saying to you, it's supposed to be -4, -2. But look at the notation. You notice I have A.
Share your screen.
Oh, thank you. But I thought I was. All right, hold on. Are you seeing it now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let us look at that. So look at the notation. You see the notation I have for A with a little stroke up top. That little stroke, that single stroke up top of A, saying that this is my first image. You know, like when you look in a mirror, nobody knows exactly how they look, you know, because when you look at yourself in a mirror, that's not your true. It's just a reflection of you. So nobody knows exactly how it is that they look, because you're not seeing you. You're only seeing a reflection of you. All right? Yeah. You're only seeing a reflection of you. You may have a good idea of what you look like, but somebody else will see the true you as opposed to you seeing you. It is an image. It is an image. So the object is going to be the original one. So you standing in front of the mirror, you are going to be referred to as the object. What you're seeing in the mirror is going to be an image. You know, sometimes you look at TikTok or Instagram and so forth, and you see they're doing a video and the writing is reversed, or where the person left hand is, it's supposed to be where the right hand is, because of the reverse. The image did not rotate in such a way for the person who is looking at it to see the true stuff. All right. So this A prime, that A single prime is saying that that object A has gone through a single transformation. So now A prime becomes negative 3, 5. B prime becomes negative 1, 1. And C prime becomes negative 4, negative 2. Any questions?
So when we're writing it in the exam, we have to write the A prime.
Yes, ma'am. So I didn't show you about the prime because remember we're just learning the stuff. So that's why I'm doing the question so you can see what is happening now. Proud of you that you got the answer, but you have to put the primes there so we know that you're talking about the first image, because sometimes some of the questions will come with a double prime, which will be the second image. Sometimes it may come with a triple prime, which will be the third image. And if I'm troublesome, I may give you something with a fourth prime, which will be the fourth image. So whenever you look at the question, you can tell you whether or not how many transformations the question would have gone through. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. All right. So very good. Very proud of you. All right. What I'm doing now is projecting part B to the question. Part B, let me read what that says. It says that little symbol in front of KLM is triangle. That's the symbol we use in mathematics to represent triangle. So it reads triangle KLM has vertices K, which is 1, negative 2, L, which is 5, negative 3, and M, which is 2, negative 7. Determine its image under the reflection in the x-axis, followed by a reflection in the line y equals x. How many transformations this part B is going through?
2.
Very good. So you expect me to have a K prime, L prime, N prime, talk truth.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to end up with a K double prime, L double prime, and N double prime, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So it goes through a transformation first, followed by another transformation. So the first transformation that it goes through is a reflection in the x-axis. So I want you to go ahead for me now and reflect triangle KLM in the x-axis for me. When you've gotten the images of those coordinates, then I now want to use those new images to do the reflection again now in the line y equals x. So you're doing 2 transformations. So you start off with your object. You're going to do the transformation once, which is going to be a reflection in the x-axis. When you get your answer for the reflection in the x-axis, that is what you're going to be using now to do the transformation of a reflection in the line y equals x. All right, you're not going to go back to the object. You're going to be using the image now. So the object to the first image, and then you're going to be using the first image now to arrive at the second image. All right, so I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to do that one for me. Start for me, please. Don't do it in your head. Write it down. This question comes for 20 marks. Look, this is a past paper question, you know. See, I'm scrolling up. 20 marks. 1 and 3, 4 and 4, 8. 8 and 4, 12. 12 and 6, 18. 18 and 3, 21. No, that don't make sense. 6 and 3, 9 and 4, 13. 13 and 4, 17. 17 and 3, 20 and 1, 21. Oh, that one have 21 marks, supposed to be 20. But anyhow, you have part B there. Try part B for me, please, and let me see what happens. Hold on.
I think I'm finished, sir.
You think you finished? Yeah, you think you finished?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is quick. I hope you're right. Take another minute and check it over for me, please. As I'm saying to your students, this topic is not difficult. It's really not difficult. I've finished the topic already, you know. We just do some past paper questions, you know. All right. Take another minute, and then I soon come to you. Just check over for me in that minute for me, please. And the rest of you, hurry up. I want you to be quick and fast, as well as being accurate. That mean I can't give you a mid-semester now because I'm going to drop a question like this in mid-semester, you know. I may give you 2 mid-semesters. I'm going to give you maybe one of them, just this alone on it. I'm going to give you for 20 marks. Let me see how many of you will get 20 out of 20. And I give you another mid-semester where you do a lot of graphs for me.
Sir, excuse me,
Make
is
it
the
too
mid-semester,
difficult.
No, man, it's going to be easy, man. You're not going to get an A. But it's only those who come to class and work hard will get the A's. The ones that's suffering from lazy man right is won't get it. Somebody else saying something? Okay.
yes, sir. On the mid-semester, is it face-to-face?
Again?
The mid-semester, is it face-to-face or online?
No. I'm going to do an online mid-semester now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to do an online mid-semester using Edicasoft. Your final exam, however, is face-to-face. All right, the rest of you finished now? Remember, said easy, you know. Who is finished? Who else rather is finished? No answer? Hello, somebody?
Ready, sir?
Yeah, I'm just
Yes,
asking.
sir.
Anybody is finished?
Yes, sir.
All right. What did you get for your answer? What is it? What is the first image of KLM? K prime, L prime, M prime. What did you get? K prime equals
1 comma
1 comma negative
1 comma 2.
1 comma 2.
1 comma
2.
negative 2.
No, that can't be one. That can't be the same thing. Remember,
2.
my object is 1 comma 2, negative 2. So what is the image? 1 comma 2.
Yes, sir.
What is the image? What is L prime?
5 comma 3.
What is M prime?
2 comma 7.
All agreed with what it is that she got?
Yes, sir.
Meeting said me agree to. Very nice. I soon project the answers. All right. So now, what is going to be the reflection of the line y equal x? What is k double prime?
Negative 1, negative 2.
Think about it.
Negative 1, positive 2.
Is a reflection of the line y equals x.
Y equal x.
Sir, it's
yes, please.
The reflection in y equal. Oh, the y equal x. L.
You remember y equals x maps
the
onto.
other one needed assist, sir.
Oh, you're seeing y equal negative x.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no man, is y equal x. Remember y equal x maps onto xy, maps onto y comma x. X becomes y and y becomes x. So quickly make that correction for me, please. quickly make that correction for me, please? And then I want somebody to tell me what K double prime is.
2, 1.
Very 1, 2. Very good. Very nice. What
And
is
then
L double prime?
3, 5.
Talk truth. What is M double prime?
7, 2.
Me like it. Me like it. I'm projecting the answer so you can see how it is that I've done the stuff. All right. So you see how I lay it out? What I've done is to write what the points are. So given K, L, M, those are called my object. So you see I'm using a jargon that I want you to learn. So the original one is called the object. Original for O, object for O. So the original one is called the object. And then the reflection in the x-axis, remember xy maps onto x, negative y. Whichever axis I'm reflecting in remains unchanged. So if I'm reflecting in the x-axis, my x value remains unchanged and my y value changes. Remember that. And those are my images for the first transformation, my K prime, L prime, M prime. And for the second transformation, those are they. Look at it. You see? 6, 7, 8, 9 marks out of 20 marks, and only 2 parts of the question we do already. Tell me if this is difficult, class.
No, sir. Again, once you study it, and you know it is.
Right. Right. And that is the operative. Once you study it, it is easy, right? Because you're not going to get this formula sheet in the exam. You won't get the formula sheet in the exam. So all of what you're doing there has to be done from memory. Must be done from memory. So that's why I sneaked and give it to you from now. All right. Okay so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. We have a third one.
So, sir, the transformational geometry, is it an educator?
Yes, man.
I guess we're not reach so far.
Yes, man, it's there. It's there. All right. Work on part C for me, please. Work on C for me, please.
Sir, I did it on.
You did what? You did part C?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second, please. 1 second, please. Oi. Remember, my aim in doing this is not for you to do it, we call it now, by inspection. Because if you just write down the final answer without showing me the stuff, you're going to be losing marks. So I want you to get into the habit of writing your images, labeling them correctly, and you're good to go. I promise you, good to go. What's your? This is the last one here because it's 12:30. I will send D and I'll send D and yeah, just D. I'll send D for you. Um, Along with the solution, so you can see how that works. All right. So today was the most productive since we have started Foundation Concept 3. Productive day that is. So do your thing. Anybody finish?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. I'm not going to wait on anybody else. I need to go because I'm going to respect your time. It's a Saturday, and I want you to respect my time, so I'm going to respect your time. It says a parallelogram KLMN. A parallelogram KLMN has a vertices K 2,1, L 3,3, M 6,3, and N 5, -1. Determine the vertices of the image of the parallelogram
So
under
5,1 we are seeing.
under an anti-clockwise rotation about the origin through an angle of 180 degrees. Uh-oh. XY maps onto what? Is it negative X, negative Y?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So K is going to be what? 2, 1 becomes?
-2, -1.
L becomes?
-3, -3.
M becomes?
-6,
-3.
And the next one becomes?
-5,
-1.
Talk out of your mouth. It hard?
No, sir.
No, sir.
13 marks already were gone. 13 marks. So do me a favor. Your homework for this evening, following this class, yes, of course, is to do some preparations to study. But I also want you to keep that handout that I gave you very close to your chest, your bosom.
Sir, I don't have
And
that handout we are talking about.
Oh, you mean you don't have the handout?
Sir, we must have just joined class.
So tell me that then. All right. Can somebody just recirculate that handout in the classroom, please? I don't have to read. Somebody can just resend that.
Send in the group, please.
Yeah. And then I lose my train of thought. Where was I going? I was going to say something.
They say keep it close to our heart.
Yes, keep it close to your bosom. Keep it close to your heart. Every day, students, if every day you read through that document, me now ask you, is it come next week or not have to use the document because you can recite something to me? And guess what? We have about a month before the exam. That's the amount of time we have left before we do the final exam, about a month. If every day you can read through this transformational geometry You have 20 points put on already for the exam, you know. Me not ask him, I tell you. And in addition to reading that, make sure you understand the graphs. There are only 2 major areas left for me to finish up the syllabus. Distant time graph that I'm going to be starting next week while I go through some more of this. And then I'm going to have circle theorem to look at. All right? Distant time graph is one of the other big topics. That don't come for a full question. It may come for about 10 marks, right? And the circle theorem comes for another 10 marks. But whatever it is, I'm going to ask you just to make sure that you do what it is that you're supposed to be doing. I beg of you, if you do what you're supposed to be doing, guys, just work with me, no man, and I can't fail, you know. Sure. Anyhow, thank you very much for coming. Your Saturday dinner will taste good. Because you did a lot of work today. Thanks for those of you who, well, all of you stayed with me. The rest of you who, when you listen to the recording and you left, I'm sure your Saturday soup is not going to taste as nice as the ones that have remained. Guys, I just beg of you, just do some work, no? Study. When you study, you will read the results. Big up on your good self. All the best. Thanks. Sarah, you are the host. I'm going to ask you to make sure that you end the class, please. Miss
Okay,
Thank you.
sir, you're not going to put up back D. You're going to send D?
I'm going to send D, man. I'm going to send it.
All right.
Coco, take care, guys. Sarah, make sure you end the class for me, please, son.